What secret did your ex reveal after you broke up? 1. We'd been together for 3 years, and it felt solid. After the breakup, though, she admitted one night, I never cleaned my old bank account, the one I said was closed. I didn't believe it until I logged in and saw it still open, still active, still showing little purchases she never told me about. The worst part? It had a recurring payment she'd set up in my name without telling me. She'd borrowed money, not by asking me, but by using my identity. I still don't know how she got my info. When she revealed that secret, I realized how little I really knew her. The relationship ended that day. I might have been the dumper, but after that, I understood exactly why it had to end. 2. We broke up amicably, or what I thought was amicable. A week later, he sent a message. Actually, I got fired months ago, and I lied about working. I stared at my phone, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. He'd been telling me he was closing big deals, buying lunches, dressing up for work, all made up. Meanwhile, I was supporting his rent and covering dinners, because he claimed he was saving up. The day he revealed he was unemployed? That day I realized I wasn't just his partner, I'd become his financial safety net without knowing. I blocked his number. I knew a secret like that changes everything. 3. When we initially met, I was drawn to his ambition. He talked about launching a tech startup, told me about investors and big office spaces. I believed him, maybe too much. We moved in together after a year. Rent, utilities, groceries, I handled most of it because he was waiting on a round of funding. I supported him emotionally and financially, believing the dream. Then one night after the breakup, I got an email from a mutual friend. He never had a startup. He was just working part-time at a coffee shop. I couldn't believe it. I asked him, "All this time you lied?" He admitted it. The office visits were coworker lunches, the investors were friends of his brother, the team was really just him. He told me he'd kept the lie up because he didn't want to be seen as a failure, and he didn't want to drag me down. Hearing that was crushing. I didn't see the relationship bankrupting me, I was already drained. I felt manipulated, as though I'd been fueling someone else's fantasy. When he finally stopped pretending, I left. He asked, "Why didn't you trust me when I tried to tell you?" I told him, "Because you were telling me a story, not showing me the truth." The secret broke any trust I'd given him. And I realized, ambition without reality isn't the same thing. 4. We were almost engaged. She was everything I thought I wanted, smart, beautiful, caring. We picked out rings, tentatively talked about marriage. Then the breakup happened. We argued about money, communication, and long-term goals. A few months later, she texted with a confession. "I've never filed taxes in the 10 years I've been working." Shock hit me like ice. I sat on my couch, phone in hand, running numbers in my head. We'd planned a life together, yet she'd been hiding this huge fact. Her earnings, her jobs, her credits, none of it was properly documented. She said she was too busy and that she just handled it informally. When I asked how she expected to buy a house, have children, retire, she said she hadn't really thought that far ahead. I realized in that moment how mismatched we were. The secret didn't just show negligence, it showed a fundamental difference in responsibility and planning. I ended the relationship officially because I couldn't build a future with someone whose past was built on shaky foundations. The rings went back in the box. The shared lease ended. I told her, "We can't build towers on sand." After the secret, I understood, marriage wasn't just love, it was structure, accountability, and transparency. 5. Our relationship was solid, at least I thought it was. After 2 years, I proposed. She cried and said yes. We moved forward, signed wedding planners, booked venues. Then we split over something stupid, scheduling conflicts, stress, money. I thought it was over, we hugged, we parted. 2 months later, she sent me a message with something you should know. She revealed that, while we were engaged, she was still seeing someone else, a friend she said. It wasn't just that she cheated. What made it worse was how long she'd been hiding it, 6 months. She said he understood because I was busy with you. My world tilted. Every photograph, every ring fitting, every joy I felt duped. The betrayal went deeper than cheating. It was deception, false partnership, lying while planning a life. I had to rebuild my identity after that. I told her she should have spoken up instead of lying. She said she didn't want to hurt me. I asked, "Isn't the truth better than hurting someone with a lie?" She had no answer. 2 months later, we aren't on speaking terms. I returned the ring. I erased her from calendars. I realized that what she called love was really a fantasy built to mask a secret life. Sometimes the story you're living isn't yours. Sometimes you're walking a script with someone else writing the final act. 6. We dated for almost 3 years. He was kind, charming, and great with kids, which, ironically, should have been a clue. We talked about having children one day, But he always said, "Not yet. I want to be ready." I respected that. After the breakup, which was mostly mutual because we were drifting apart, we stayed somewhat civil. A few months later, one of his old friends messaged me and said, "I don't know if you know this, but you should." That's when I learned he had a 5-year-old daughter. A child. From a woman he dated briefly before me. He'd been paying child support quietly the whole time we were together. He never mentioned her, not once, not when we talked about parenting, not when I asked about his past relationships, not even when I met his family. His parents knew and went along with it. When I confronted him, he admitted it immediately. He said he didn't want to scare me away. I asked how he could look me in the eye and talk about our future kids while pretending his actual child didn't exist. He said it was complicated, that the mother didn't want the girl involved with anyone new. I wasn't angry that he had a child, people have pasts. I was angry that he hid it from me for years. That's not protection, that's deceit. Every time we passed a playground, every time he said he wasn't ready for kids, I realized he wasn't talking about readiness, he was talking about guilt. I broke off all contact after that. His last text said, "You were the only one I wanted to tell eventually." That word, eventually, said everything. He didn't trust me enough for honesty, only comfort. The truth didn't ruin our relationship. The lie did. 7. We dated long distance for 2 years. We met online during lockdown, and for the most part, it worked. We video chatted, sent gifts, and even met twice in person. He always said his job required a lot of travel, so when he disappeared for days, I didn't think much of it. When we broke up, it was clean, or so I thought. A few months later, a woman messaged me on Instagram. She wrote, "Hi. I think we've been dating the same guy." I thought it was a scam until she sent pictures, same apartment, same shirts, same dog. He wasn't traveling for work, he was traveling between relationships. Apparently, he had 2 separate lives in 2 different cities. 2 phones, 2 friend circles, even 2 birthdays listed on social media. She found out when she saw my tagged photo on his profile, the one he forgot to hide. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He said, "I didn't mean to lie, I just didn't know how to choose." That line still makes my skin crawl. I realized I hadn't dated a person, I dated a performance. Every good morning text, every call before bed, was carefully timed between his lies. The worst part wasn't the betrayal, it was realizing how normal he was about it. No guilt, no shame, just logic. It worked until it didn't. That's what he told me. I blocked him everywhere, but part of me still wonders how many other versions of him exist. Now when people ask if I trust long-distance relationships, I say this: distance isn't the problem. Deception is. I'd rather date someone 5,000 miles away with honesty than someone next door living a double life. And that's the video, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed hearing what Reddit had to say. Now tell me in the comments, what secret did your ex reveal after you broke up? I'll see you in the next one.